with the COVID-19 lockdown set to continue, parents world over have found themselves having to school their children. This experience comes, of course, with lots of ups and downs, compromise and adjustments. Today, I would like for us ladies to share our experiences as to what it has been like teaching little ones from school.
I have two boys that go to school. One is in P1 and P2. So initially, when the COVID ruckus came in, they gave us physical work, but they didn't know how long it would take. However, it wasn't enough to sustain us for this whole period. So they gave us work for about 2 weeks, and that we did initially. Then they opened a WhatsApp forum where they're sending us work on a weekly basis. So we just have to go print it out, and that is what is guiding them through the lockdown. They gave us a proper timetable. Monday, let's do maths and English. Tuesday, let's do this. So for me, it's helping because it's even timetable. It's all that has been guiding me.
Yes, so ours has been a bit similar. I've actually been impressed by Teja's school. Teja is in P5. He received homework the day we received the directive that schools were supposed to be closed. So the day I picked him, we were asked by every head teacher of every class was asked the parents who picked the children to leave email addresses that they could be that they could be reached on, working email addresses. So they gave us homework physically on the day they closed, and then subsequently every 2 weeks we have a communication from the school and extra work. So every 2 weeks we are sent an email, but we get extra work, and we receive extra, like for following the whole syllabus. If anything, I thought maybe that I could share with you something. So hopefully you'll see it on the screen. The type of homework they receive, it's in every subject. And I set up a folder for my son so that we follow through all the work that he gets. So co-parenting has come into play here because I haven't been with my son since the lockdown, 2 months, no Teja, but he's with his dad. So the dad does like the physical part, and then we schedule like phone calls. So we schedule phone calls every time they give them work. So we have like normal, hi babe, phone calls, how are you doing? And then we have like school phone calls. Like, so every 2 weeks, I follow up with progress. I ask him what's going on. So it's like every week, but because they give the homework every 2 weeks, I follow it up every 2 weeks, make sure he's completed what he's done before. So I found it really impressive. I don't have to go on the internet and look up online classes. I just follow what we're given, directed by email.
Interesting. So in my case, Micah is a preschooler. So a lot of the learning that he does is basic stuff, identifying sounds, naming objects, learning new words, colors, shapes, the work. So when the lockdown started, he gave him a lot of homework. I say a lot because Micah is very reluctant to like write, and I feel like he's just overwhelmed by it. So writing and being able to write his name and being able to write simple words like nap and mat. So that's the kind of writing that we are doing. We've been making time to do a lot of the homework. So maybe an hour or 1 hour in a day. And then the other thing that we've been trying to do is doing a lot of reading. So I've spoken about Micah's speech on the show before. So reading helps with his vocabulary. It helps him learn new words. So we are reading books like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, one of his favorites, the Carry Along Bible. It has very simple Bible stories. And then this one that I used to read to him when he was much younger, Brown Bear. He made me a card for Mother's Day. Let me brag on my child. Baking as well. Recently, he told me, Mommy, I want to cook with you, but I was just not ready. And the following mom got donuts. And through that, he's also enhancing his learning and just being deliberate about explaining stuff to him. And Manuel, I guess I have you to thank for this, stimulating his mind. So when he asks questions or when he mentions something or makes a comment, we're being deliberate about explaining to him what that thing is and what it does. Even though he's not, even though it seems like he doesn't understand, I feel like we're sort of passing on knowledge. So that's what's happening in my camp.
Yeah, we saw the pictures. He looked, he was so excited, like, oh, wow. Now, for mine, so Bianca is, okay, so first of all, we use a whole different kind of system, which is the accelerated Christian education. And so they use PACEs. So they're like literally textbooks that the kids read on their own and then do their work. So I kind of felt like, like how you're all saying us, we had homework, us, we didn't have. Because immediately the lockdown went, I expected that I'm going to reach the school. In fact, I was breathing in and breathing out, like, knowing that I'm going to get a more chunk of paces to do with the kids and then suffer with them. Lo and behold, I reached, I'm like, hey, wait, where are the paces? Anyway, no paces, and the WhatsApp group was created. We were in the WhatsApp group. You look for communication, okay. Then I think at one point, I think there was a platform set up for us to, all go in and sign in and all of those things. The school is divided in half. Some are getting, some are not. So we're feeling like maybe it's the younger ones, like these preschoolers, these ones who we can't guide them. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. We're just like, okay, let's wait and see how this goes. Yeah.
My experience has been, if anything, pretty easy, because the school that my children go to has been very good at ensuring that they update us as much as possible. The children get daily online lessons via video calls, so they're able to hear and see the illustrations. Then that is followed up with assignments every week that you hand in, which you scan and email, and that gets marked and is sent back in what would call weekly appraisal. So the subject teacher is also sends an email, the class teacher sends an email of what has been happening during the week and whether the results or marks that you've gotten in whatever assignment has been offered. In my case, I have two children who are still in school, so the information I gave you is for both of them, but mostly for Asante. But now for Amani, who is in year 13, which is like year 16, that has been really weird for us, but slowly by slowly, we've somehow managed to handle it. Luckily enough, the children have either been in schools or maybe I prepped them well enough. They know how to sit and do their homework without having to push them or anything like that. But once again, of course, it comes back to the fact that mine are much older. So they know what they need to do when and where. But for the year 13 one, he just finished his last paper this Monday, his finals. So he has been sitting his finals. So what they do is the board sends you an email of the exam. So I was like, Michael, okay, if they send me an email with the exam, why don't I tell you what to study? I might start asking, Michael, have you studied this to ensure that he does well? He says, Mom, we have most of our grades are about, it's the predicted grade that counts quite a lot. So I'm speaking in terms of those doing GCSE or the IB system. So already he has his predicted grades. So if you've been getting A's, okay, let's say if you've been getting C's and all of a sudden in your final you get an A, then they know that something did not go right. So he tells me, Mom, these exams are about integrity. I'm like, okay. Yeah, he says, I know you get the exam early, but I don't want to know what it is. Of course, I walked into my room and I'm like, had I been told in S6 that I could see the exam in advance? But yeah, so that's what we've been doing in terms of homeschooling on my side.
Wow, good stuff. So obviously this arrangement is, without challenges, but I'm sure there are also some, good things to report about it. What has been your experience? What are some of the challenges you faced and the upside between yourselves and the children?
My challenge with the kids, since it's P1 and P2, really, we all know those years and their concentration levels. And now that I have a newborn baby who they are immensely obsessed with. Like, because I have a timetable and I don't go against it. So I have to carry the baby sometimes when I'm teaching them, and that distracts them most of the time. However, even if the baby is away, lots of distractions are on. The TV is there. They have a younger brother who is yet to start school. When he switches on the TV, or if he's doing something, then they'll get distracted. They immediately want to go and follow them. Then they'll hear their neighborhood children, the neighborhood children playing. They normally, they love football lately. So when they hear a sound of a ball kicking, distraction. Stuff like, mommy, today I feel cold. Oh no, how many pages are we going to do today? As in, it's really not been funny, but we're managing. I manage. My tough side has to come on. My tough side comes on because I really need them to follow. I don't want them to go back when they've even forgotten how to write. You know those days when we go back to school and you've kind of forgotten how to even hold a pen? So I emphasize that they have their they do something on a daily. It's only Saturday and Sunday when they're free. Other than that, but we are managing. That's the only distraction.
Yeah, interesting. So for me, okay, so just because whether I didn't see or we weren't getting or it was not sufficient, I don't know. The cradle, on the other hand, has been passing exercises like you know, when you sit in a Zoom class with two-year-olds or 1-year-olds, they are so excited to see each other. And the good thing is, what I absolutely love about our curriculum is that it's all fun and play. You learn through play. So it's like when they go to sit, they are excited. They're like, we are going to see this one on TV on the screen. And then I guess because we've been having Zoom meetings, and then they've been seeing us in Zoom meetings, like they're just so excited to also be in Zoom meetings. So based on what the kids are going to do, you as an adult, you also kind of have each rule shows, you know, like this is 2 hours, a 2-hour block. After this hour block, because they are going to say, for example, do, let's say, a cognitive class, and they're going to, for example, do an experiment. Before this 2-hour block that you have, prepare the experimental things that they are going to use, for example. And then now you have a 2-hour block. Then you just switch on the iPad for them. I can continue working, and Blake and Bianca will come knowing. They'll go, you know, and sit. And then I look at the schedule. I know after that they are going to now go and play outside. So at 1 hour, after 1 hour mark, I'll get out, get the balls they are going to play with, get the whatever it is they're going to play with. I put it on the side. I go back in. I do whatever I'm doing. Blake and Bianca come out of their meeting ready to go for the next activity. So that's it literally works. Even when I'm going to sleep, I know what to prepare for the next day. At the end of the week, I have, you know, a supply list. These are the things you need to buy. So I go buy, come back, and I say, now tomorrow, these are the things you'll need. Okay, so you prepare them. So the schedule runs side by side. So it has kind of actually been easy. Even so, it will say now this time is for them. They have free time. So let them be. Okay, so like that. That's how it's been. So it's been okay, to be honest. Yeah.
So obviously our other lives have not stopped. The houses still have to run, chores still need to be done. How are we juggling all of that alongside being teachers to our little ones?
I've been working, I've been on parenting, and I've been, you know, I still have a house that I need to take care of. So for my work, I've been juggling between working from home and working from office, because the nature of my work, not everything for security reasons and maybe data bulk issues. I couldn't carry everything home with me. So sometimes I have to go into office. Other times I work from home. But I've found so strangely that when I'm working from home, it's more of a struggle, because when I'm at home, I'm in like mom mode, like, you know, domesticate. I'm like totally domesticated. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm washing, I'm doing this. And then I have to start my work later on in the afternoon. So I end up now working after hours, because I do everything in the morning until we are at work. We have one meal a day and maybe some chai after. So in between all of that, I feel maybe I can't say, in the beginning I struggled, but not so much anymore. Now I've realized that I really need to do, I'm not going to do a sandwich. I'm not going to, try to fix things in between each other. I first work, do my housework, do everything I need to do, get my head focused again. When people have eaten and we are now okay, then I start work. So I'll work like till much later in the evening. So yeah, that's how I've been doing it.
My life sounds, it sounds almost boring to say, but you know that I have been in lockdown for 3 months. I needed to state that. On May the 15th, I made 15 days in quarantine. So I will tell you this, the first 1 month, girls, you all know how it was. I would kick, I would clean, I would lay beds, I would mopping, sweeping, laundry. When was the last time you washed a bucket of jeans? Oh gosh, that was not easy at all. So it's humbling when you get to that stage where your children are taller than you, maybe smarter than you, or doing subjects you know nothing about. So that is our homeschool stuff. I'm not sure if I'm holding it the right way, but that is what we are studying now. I can't tell the difference. So when it comes to marking, I go onto Google and I'm able to mark a few of them because I see the steps and I follow through. Truth is, pure maths isn't for me, it's for the other parent. So I have decided to stick and do what I do best. They say I'm a good mom, so I'm being a good mom.
So like I mentioned, mom has been extremely supportive. She lives nearby, so I'm able to drive, to take him there, and he's learning while having a great time exploring his environment. And then that gives me an opportunity to come back home and just focus on like what needs to get done. Cleaning the house, making sure our meals are ready and all of that. Before the lockdown, I had a lock-in maid, not a lock-in. A walk-in maid. Oh my gosh. I have a walk-in maid, and she lives a bit far from me. She's only able to come a couple of days in a week. So when she comes, I really maximize. She'll do cleaning, laundry, the works, do some market shopping for me, make sure like there's fresh stuff in the fridge. And that way, I guess my life has been made easy, and I'm able to know what I need to do. Also, just coming up with a very short to-do list, like the night before, I know these are the things I want to achieve the following day, even if it's as basic as I need to dust a shelf or I need to dust a table. I make sure that I put that on there so that I'm not overwhelmed when I wake up with either work or just a feeling of I don't want to do anything today, and then nothing gets done. So yeah, that's how I'm managing.
So there's something, I had wanted to find out about, I don't know if it's something that you guys have thought about the disparities that are going to happen between when we eventually actually go back to school, because different people, do you feel like there might be an issue with differences in the children? Don't you think that might be like something we should be talking about?
It's interesting that actually, Pumla, you talk about that, and I guess because of that question is why my school was handling it in that way. So my kids are still in like the developmental stages of the curriculum, and so at that point, everybody's literally moving at the same pace. There's a point at which they reach, and then they leave you, right, to learn at your own pace, right? So now for like the older kids, for the way the curriculum works, the way the ACE curriculum works, you move at your pace. So they are okay with kids coming, let's say, home with their paces, and wherever the parents will take them is good for them anyway. But not for us, the younger ones, because they have to move at exactly the same pace. When they've all learned how to read, all learned how to write, and they're proficient, now they start, now go ye and and learn on your own, and make it on your own. That's literally how it feels. So and that's why I respect the ACE curriculum, because now those people the people in the normal curricula, what's going to happen is they are going to be at different levels for sure, because some kids are understanding, some are not, some are fighting with parents, some are not. Home environment is different. So what's happening is they're actually going to be at very different levels. And so certain schools are either going to start from behind and move forward with everyone, or they're going to just be like, you know what? Sorry, we are moving ahead. The homework stopped where? In science, here. That's where we are moving forward. So yeah, it's going to be quite difficult. But yes, children are going to be at different levels.
Well, my worry, my actually bigger worry or additional worry onto that was how is government going to set, and this is for national curriculum, how is government, local curriculum, how is government going to set final exams? I mean, PLE, UCE, USCE, I mean, there's a dead term in between, a whole dead term, second term does not exist. And even if, because there's been no umbrella structure from the government, from the Ministry of Education, really, like guiding people on what to do. So, I mean, it's literally like it's dead. It's only our schools that are individual schools putting in some effort. And my issue mostly now is that between the rural and the urban, already there's a huge inequality gap. And I feel we're only going to extend that gap even further because we're mostly, at least our viewers on Bump Lab, are from the urban centers, and they're doing what it takes to continue their learning programs. But people, because you have access to devices, you have internet, you have all these things, while the parents and children in the rural areas have no access to anything. So what happens between a P5 child in the village and a P5 child in town? They're going to be completely different. So it's going to be interesting. When we get there, then I don't know how we're going to figure this all out. COVID,
yeah. Yeah.
For sure. Ladies, I mean, it was amazing getting all these different experiences. I hope we have some bump lovers out there who will share their experiences with us, some funny, some just, but when the time does come, please drop us a line on our different social platforms. When we do come back, we'll be speaking to a mother who actually chose to homeschool her children way before COVID forced most of us to. Until next time, with love from Bump Love.